Welcome in, crafters. Today we're going to make something nice and simple with everything that's on here. So I have a very tiny paintbrush here. You'll see why so tiny soon. Some VersaFine Onyx black ink as an ink pad. Ta-da! Very useful, nice, sharp, crisp images with these. I'm unsure which one of these circles to use or whether to do a frame at the moment, but we'll see soon. A anti-static bag for when doing embossing, because we're going to do some of that, with a little bit of black charcoal glittery embossing powder and some melt dust black by Craft Studio. This is just a matte black. As you can see, very dark, very black. Distress Oxide in Blueprint Sketch. Need that just a little bit. Just a little bit. Scrap piece of paper, because it comes in handy. Acrylic block for stamping, and we'll get to the stamps in a moment. Let me just do this. We're going to be using, well, I'm going to be using some white card, and I'm going to cut it out 3 by 6 because I'm wanting to make 3 by 3 cards, and I'm hoping to get 3 out of it, but we'll see. And here we have my ladybird stamps, and I'm going to be using this little guy just here. Okay, and then the next one, I'm going to be using the congratulations up here, and the last stamp will be the many thanks, which is just, oops, just there. Okay, of course there's going to be a heat gun, a die cutting machine, all of that in there, but let's go. Okay, so I have cut out my 6 by 3 inches and scored along the middle, and also done one circle. I did the smallest circle in the end to create a nice little window frame. All I'm wanting is a very simple notelet card, and I do mean simple. So this should appeal to a lot of people that don't necessarily have the time or the craft accessories. So I'll just grab my little guy if he comes off the sheet. There we go. Okay, and I've grabbed the little flower as well. I want to see if that's going to fit or if it's going to be too much. No, it's going to be too much. Oh well, little guy as originally planned. We'll put a little flower back. Okay, so this is where he's going to sit inside the frame, and now he's on the acrylic block. Oops. Bleh. Okay, anti-static pad. This gets rid of all the grease from your fingers, any dust, anything you don't want the embossing powder to stick to, because it sticks very, very easily, and we don't want that. So, giving that a bit of a rub over. Now, my heat gun is on right now. And it's just literally warming up. Okay, turn that off so it's nice and warm, and grab my VersaFine Onyx black ink. Ink up my little guy. Here we go. You see? Now you can see him. And I'm just going to place him inside the window. There we go. There he is. He looks so cute. Now, I'm going to grab my black melt dust and just do a teeny little bit. Not very much. But I am going to be using this powder on several cards. So I want a little bit more than just enough for one. Tiny little bit of the charcoal glitter dust. More than enough, and then give it a shaky to make sure the little guy is well covered, everything landing on the scrap piece of paper. Very nice. Well done, scrap piece of paper. And now we make sure that the heat gun is warm enough. Yep. Okay, let's do the little guy. Okay, so just making sure that the whole of him is covered. All of the powder has melted. And there is the little guy. And you can see a little bit of a sheen on him. Camera is not brilliant. I'm so sorry. But he's shining. For me, he's shining. And thankfully, that's glitter that's working. So, yay. Okay, so there he is in the little window. Okay, now, next I want the sentiment. Let's get the sentiment. So for this one, I'm going to do the many thanks. Oops, no, I don't want you as well. Get back over there. Thank you very much. Acrylic block. And we'll stick that in the corner, away from the ladybird. Okay, and I want the sentiment on the front. So closing the card up. Now I'm not going to do the anti-static pad because I'm not embossing. I am literally just going to stamp for this one. So holding the card down, lining up. So wish I wasn't in the way and the camera was a little bit better. But see, nice and very, very simple. Very simple. Of course you can do any sentiment, any image you like. I'm doing my little ladybird. I know who this is going to. All good. But I am going to shove a little bit of embossing on this because I want to make it a bit glitzy. Just a little bit. But I didn't use my anti-static pad, so I'm going to have to brush off all the extra bits that I don't want. Right, let's get rid of that paper because we don't want that anymore. And go over there. Let's get the heat gun back out and make sure it's hot enough. Okay, and we're going to go over the many thanks. Make sure you close your ink pads up because you don't want them to dry out. Of course there are re-inkers, but let's face it, let's make them last as long as they can, eh? Okay, so there we have our very, very simple card, but inside I'm going to grab my Distress Oxide and my block. You don't have to use the block, you can go direct from the ink pad. It is completely down to you, but I'm just going to put a little bit on in the corner and grab my paintbrush. No water, this isn't water card, but I'm just going to colour the ladybird's shell in, nothing else at all. Don't want any more colour on this. So I'm literally just doing the shell and the shell only. Of course, avoiding the spots because the spots would be black if I were colouring it all in. But I'm not. So little blue shell. And there we have my many thanks little card. And that is that. But I'm going to do a congratulations card as well. While I have everything out, just as a slightly different sentiment. So fold down that score line that I've already done. Now, when I cut these holes out, I have circles left over. So here we have one of the circles with a little stitched border around it, and that fits in just there. So if you want to make a slightly more dimensional card, you could foam pad this, or you could stick it down. I'm going to stick it down because these are going to get posted. But I'm going to put my little ladybird on first before I do any sticking. So same little guy. Stick him on the circle like so. Oops. Oh, this is not good. I should have used my stamping platform. Arrgh. Well, yeah, let's hope. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay. Yep, that'll work. Oh, thank goodness for that. Okay, it's not as bad as it could have been. I mean, at least I had the circles ready and prepared, but you know. So let's get some of this glittery black embossing on him. Get him jazzed up. Now, I didn't use the anti-static pad again, so I know it's off camera and I'm so sorry. I'm just taking off a couple of excess little powdery flecks. Get rid of the paper again and get my heat gun and give him the once over. And that should do that. Okay, good. Right, let's get some colour on him maybe, and the sentiment congratulations just here. We'll grab that as well while we're at it. So I'll put that down in the opposite corner to the many thanks. And get rid of him because we don't need him anymore. Well, not for the moment. Oops, sorry. Earthquake! Working in a very tiny space. There are many earthquakes. Anti-static pad used. See, I'm a good girl sometimes. Now we get the congratulations stamped up. Lovely, lovely. Get it on the front of the card. I'm not going to emboss this one. I'm going to leave it nice and plain and simple. And top corner and done. Lovely. Right, let's get this little guy stuck down. So because the circle fits the circle, because it was cut out of it, one of the best ways is to keep that closed, fit it like so. Make sure you can open the card, and then you've got exactly where he's supposed to be. You will need to hold down with something, anything, doesn't really matter, when this is all over, because of the heat gun and the glue. It does tend to warp it a little bit, not much, a little bit, but if you put something heavy on them for an hour or so, that should be more than enough to flatten everything out nicely. Okay, so what else can we do with him? Well, we've got our blue one, we've got our plain one. So what else can we do? Jump cut. I've grabbed some glitter glue. But with this, I am going to do just a couple of spots around the very front of the congratulations. Because it's glitter, congratulations, it all works, right? Now, come on out. Oh yeah, I forgot to take the plug out of the glitter glue. Yeah, don't try that at home, please. So I'm just going to put a few little spots here and there of blue glitter. That way the person that gets this not only has the congratulations and a little bit of glitter that doesn't come off the card, but also they know it's me because it's blue. Another one up there. One more. Oh no, there's another gap up there. I'll grab that one as well. And there. And that will do. Okay. See, now I'm just faffing about. Let's put that up there, get that out of the way. Right, so very carefully now. Let's close that one so you can see them together. There we go. We have the many thanks with the blue ladybird, and we have the congratulations with a non-coloured ladybird, but a little bit of blue around the outside in glitter. Give a thumbs up if you like, please, and down below, if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.